So there's some challenges with it, but that particular property cash flowed over $1,500 every month, and I had no money into it. Hey everyone, Kevin Amolsch, Pine Financial Group, where we work together so you succeed. Hey, I got Justin with me today, but before I get into Justin, let's talk about this. Hit subscribe if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet. We have lots of great content coming out each and every week. All right, I got Justin Cooper with me. He's gonna talk to us a little bit, well actually we're gonna talk together about buying non-conforming real estate deals. What say you?
Well, first off, let's define what a non-conforming property is. What are we even going to be talking about? So non-conforming properties could take different shapes. So maybe it's, we'll call it an illegal duplex, right? So maybe you have a single family house and it has a full basement and you've converted the basement to a separate unit. Maybe it now has exterior access. Somebody else can live there, but the zoning doesn't allow for 2 units on that property. Another example might be non-conforming would be when you have the biggest house in the neighborhood. You're buying or you own a 10,000 square foot house in a neighborhood where everything else isn't bigger than 3,000 square feet.
So it doesn't conform to the area.
Exactly. It doesn't conform to the neighborhood and the style of homes in the neighborhood.
This is so fun doing these videos with Justin because him and I do not prepare at all for these. But the good thing is we know what we're talking about a little bit, I think.
Well, and hopefully they can see that.
Okay, good. So 2 ways that it's non-conforming, right? If it's legal, non-conforming would be maybe it doesn't fit the neighborhood, the largest. And then you have non-conforming, which Justin described to you as zoning for a single family that you converted into a duplex. Okay, so what's some of the advantages if we stick with maybe not as legal non-conforming?
Not as legal.
When you're supposed to have a single family and you have a duplex or an accessory dwelling unit, what is some advantages to buying a property like that?
Well, so one of the first things is you might be able to rent that second unit. You might be able to have additional income. You might be able to offset your mortgage payment. So additional revenue could come in from that. It's a term we hear a lot these days is house hacking. So you live in one unit, you rent out the other one, and the rental helps cover your mortgage costs.
And it's very difficult to finance these properties, so you'll likely get a much better price. So your rent to price ratio should be a lot better on these, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've done a couple of non-conformings. I have a duplex property right now, and it's right on a really busy street in Lakewood, Colorado. And it's zoned single family, it's a duplex, and there was an eminent domain issue, and they came in and they took 7 feet of my front yard. So now I'm even closer to, it's Kipling, which is a busy street. What I wanted to do was to put 2 curb cuts in so that my tenants can drive in one side and drive out the other because you can't back out onto this busy road. But because it's a duplex in a single family zoning, they wouldn't let me do that.
Right, so this would be one of the risks in having one of these non-conforming properties. What you might be able to do with a conforming property now you can't do, or what might make the most sense for that property you're not allowed to do because of the zone.
Oh, and the mail is a big one. I had a 3-plex zone duplex, and the mail wouldn't be delivered. So I had to do a separate mailbox. I had to have the tenants separate the mail for me because the post office wouldn't do it. So there's some challenges with it, but that particular property cash flowed over $1,500 every month, and I had no money into it.
Right, so there's a trade-off, right? Some of the risks might just be the headache, right? Some small logistics, in this case with the mail and how that gets sorted out. But the upside, a lot more cash flow. Absolutely.
What are the risks to buying a legal non-conforming, like the big house in a small neighborhood?
So the first thing is the value, the price of the home. You're not going to be able to sell it just because you are 3 times larger than the next house doesn't mean you can sell it for 3 times more than the rest of the neighborhood.
Yeah, the price per square foot adjustments that you see in valuations is really like 1/5 to 1/6 of the price per square foot. I know I just talked, that's probably very confusing to the viewer. Do you want to explain that?
No, keep going.
Okay, so a price per square foot model, which is a total disaster of a way to value properties, when you take the price per square foot average in a neighborhood and multiply it by the square feet you have in your house. The reason it's a disaster is for this exact reason. You can't have a value that much higher, twice as much as the rest of the neighborhood. You got to support your value with comps, and the price per square foot in a certain neighborhood, because of the comps only allow so much room, is about 1/5 to 1/6 of the price per square foot. So the adjustment's significantly different. You don't ever want to be the highest or the biggest house for this reason.
Right. So on that, where your house is twice the size of the neighbors, you can probably sell that house for more than the neighbors, but not twice as much. So maybe an extra 10, 20, 30%, depending on the amenities and other things, but certainly not double the price.
All right, is there anything else you want to share about this non-conforming business?
I think we've covered quite a bit.
All right, if you have any questions about it, please leave a comment below and we'll be happy to answer it. If you're looking for a hard money loan, give us a try. Love that. PineFinancialGroup.com.